Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria and today we are going to be doing my April TBR. March was a little bit rough reading wise. I watched a lot of TV instead of reading. I haven't been wanting to buy audiobooks because they're expensive. But because of that, I haven't been able to read a lot of the books that I wanted to read, and it kind of put me in a little bit of a slump. So that's where I'm in right now, where I can't decide like what I'm in the mood for, you know, like what I want to read. And I keep giving books like pretty basic ratings, like 3.5, which is not wowing me, you know what I mean? So I don't want to go overly heavy on April's TBR because of that. And so I have my April TBR here, but it's mostly books that are coming out in April and like new releases, and also just a few that have been on my radar for a while that I have been wanting to read in March, but haven't been able to buy their audiobooks. So I'm going to hopefully be able to buy at least a couple in April, and I want to be really focused about the ones that I'm buying. And make sure that they're books that I actually want to read at that moment. So we're gonna hope for the best, but we're gonna get right into April's TBR. So to start off with new releases, Foolish Puckboy by Eden Finley and Saxon James comes out on April 13th. I read every single Eden Finley book. I have enjoyed the rest of this series, so I am very excited for the next one to come out. It's a hockey romance, and I love Eden Finley and Saxon James writing together. Their books make me so happy. They're so easy to read and enjoyable and fun, and I love their romances, and I always laugh so much during their books. So I'm very, very excited to have a new Eden Finley book. So I'm definitely going to be reading that one. The next one that I have is Paladin by Onley James. This one comes out April 30th, so I don't know if I'll necessarily be able to read it in April because it does come out on the last day of the month, but I did want to mention it because it is a new release for April. But I am hoping to at least start this on the last day of April when it comes out. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish it, but I'm hoping that I can start it because I am very, very excited about this new one. This is an romance, and it is the first book in her Jericho Boys series, which is a follow-up spin-off series of the Necessary Evils series, which is one of my favorite series of all time. So I'm very, very excited to be back in that world and to focus on more of Jericho's boys because they were very intriguing when we first met them in Madman. I think we met them in Madman? Moonstruck. When we met them in Moonstruck. So I'm very, very excited, and I cannot wait until this book comes out. The next one we have is another highly anticipated release, and that is Coach by DEVNEY Perry. It comes out April 6th. I will absolutely be reading this one right when it comes out. The audiobook comes out on the same day, and I am so excited for DEVNEY Perry to do sports romance. This is a football single dad second chance romance, and I am just here for all of the football vibes. I'm so excited for a sports romance by DEVNEY Perry, and I love DEVNEY Perry, and this one has gotten really, really good reviews from ARC readers, so I'm really excited. And then another very, very anticipated release, April has really good releases, is If Only You by Chloe Leese. Chloe Leese has said that this book will have the audio release on the same day, so I will definitely be reading this one. I'm hoping that my library picks it up because they have the rest of the Bergman Brothers series, but this is the next book in the Bergman Brothers series. This is actually one of the Bergman sisters. I believe this is Ziggy's book, and I think that it has autism rep and celiac rep, I'm pretty sure. So I'm excited. I love Chloe Leese, and I love the Bergman Brothers series, so I'm definitely going to be reading this one. I believe it's soccer romance also because Ziggy plays soccer. This is a Swedish-American family that I am in love with. I'm Swedish, and so I always find the little Swedish elements in the books so enjoyable and fun. I love all of the representation that she has, and although I am not celiac, I am gluten-free, so I am excited to see a little bit of myself represented in that way, and the horrible reactions you get from eating gluten and how hard it is sometimes to be gluten-free. So I'm excited to see that, and I hope that this book is just as amazing as all of the other Bergman Brothers books. The next one that I have is actually a audiobook release. The ebook has been out for a while, and that is The Serpent and the Wings of Night by CARISSA Broadbent, and the audiobook comes out April 11th. I have heard such good things about this book. CARISSA Broadbent has been pretty hyped for the last couple of months, and I haven't read any of her books yet. I haven't been in a big fantasy mood, so this is one that's a little bit more tentative. I have been waiting really for this audiobook for months, so I hope that I'm in the mood for it. But again, fantasy has been a little rough for me with a little bit of a slump that I have going on here. So I will see how I'm feeling, but if I am in the fantasy mood, I will absolutely be reading this book. I don't really know that much about it. I've heard that it's like compared to Hunger Games, to ACOTAR. I love both of those things, so I think it has vampires in it, so I'm excited. I believe that that is it for new releases. So the next one that I have is another one that I'm not sure that I'm going to get to, but I hope that I will, and that is When a Moth Loves a Bee by Pepper Winters. This I think is also a fantasy book. I think it's kind of long, and this is the pick for Jess's Patreon for her book club, and I try and participate. I've only participated, I think, I've only actually read the book, I think, once or maybe twice. I'm not very good at book clubs, but this one, I always try. And so this one is the one for April. But like I said, it's a fantasy, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be in a fantasy mood. But if I am, and if I can get to it, I would like to. So I wanted to include it on the TBR. The next one that I will definitely be reading is Powerless by Elsie Silver. I really loved Heartless, like everyone else, and I did enjoy Flawless as well. And this is the third book. It is a Friends to Lovers, I believe, and I have heard good reviews from it. People have really liked it, and I will be buddy reading this book with Averie from Ava's Romance Books and Rachel from Rachel Reads and Sings. So I'm really excited to buddy read it with both of them. I hope that we all love it. Then the next one that I have is The Husband Hoax by Saxon James. This one has been out for a while. I was originally very intrigued by it because the man on the cover is holding a cat, and I'm a big cat person, but I am not as big of a fan of Saxon James as I am of Eden Finlay. Like, I don't read all of Saxon James' books, but I have heard that this one is good, and that it, one of the characters that is in Foolish Puckboy, that's a dual written book, so Eden Finlay and Saxon James, like I said, that's coming out in April, has a character that's introduced in The Husband Hoax. So I'm thinking that I'll read The Husband Hoax before I read Foolish Puckboy so that I can meet the character. But I don't actually really know anything about The Husband Hoax. I really don't know what it's about at all. The next one that I have is Viper by Brooke Blaine and Ella Frank. This one is a rockstar romance, and this is actually book 2 in the series. We read book 1 last month for Jess's Patreon, and we didn't get an HEA, and I enjoyed the book, so I wanted to read the next one. And then I have Hail Mary by Candy Steiner. The audiobook of this came out, I think, in March, and I've been wanting to read this one since it came out. I really enjoyed Fair, Catch, and I loved Blindside, so I want to read the last book in that series. I didn't love Quarterback Sneak, so I'm a little worried to see how I'll like Hail Mary, but I have talked to a couple of other people who didn't love Quarterback Sneak and loved Hail Mary, so I'm hoping that it goes well. And that one is a football neighbors romance who have to live together, I believe. I think that the heroine ends up having to live with the hero because her house has problems, and then they used to know each other when they were in like elementary or high school, and he bullied her, I believe. I don't know if that's right, but I think that's what the plot is. And then the last one that I actually have is Blind Pass by Tegan Hunter. So this is the second book in the Carolina Comets series. I was given a book much later on in this series by Valentine PR that I read and really loved. So I've been going back and reading the rest of the series. So I read book 1 in March, and this is book 2 in the series, and it is a marriage of convenience. No, it isn't. It's an accidental marriage in Vegas romance, where they get drunk and married in Vegas, and he's a hockey player. And I really am enjoying these books because they're very like low angst. They're just like, there's no, I don't even know how to explain it, but they're very just like easy reads. They're not that long, and they're great for my slump feeling because they're just so easy and good and not overly angsty or emotional or anything, and I've been having a good time with them. So this is the next book in that series that I want to read. So I think that that's it, actually, that I'm going to mention. I'm sure that I will, or at least I hope I will read more in April, but that's all that I'm going to put on my TBR because I am in such a weird mood. So I think that that's going to be it for this video. Please let me know down in the comments below what's on your April TBR, or if you've read any of the books that are on my April TBR, even though I know that a lot of them are new releases. But that's going to be it, so I hope that you have the absolute best day. Bye.